What's up, YouTube? Robbie Rambles, back again, filming in the bedroom because the kids have taken over the rest of the house, so this is the only place to do a quiet voiceover. Stay tuned. In this video, we are doing our first round of tests on the nitrogen cycle, but before that, let's test salinity first and see what it's at. As we can see here, it's reading at about 1.024, a little on the low end, but I do have some corrective measures in place that will fix that. You can see here for ammonia and nitrites, we're actually using a Salinity for test kits, but we're using a HANA checker for the nitrates. The reason I invested more heavily in the nitrates is because I think that's going to be an ongoing check, whereas the ammonia and nitrates are going to be less frequently, but still an important part of doing tests as we progress with the tank. These tests were done exactly 1 week after setting up the tank, and spoiler, the test came back much lower than expected. So low, in fact, that I ended up purchasing Dr. Tim's ammonia chloride and Dr. Tim's one and only reef bacteria to kickstart another cycle. Here we can see just 1 week in our ammonia levels are already at 0. And you'll see that in a second here, but you'll see what I mean. My nitrites were also much lower, and my nitrates even lower than I expected beyond both of those. Shortly after doing these tests, but before adding the Dr. Tim's, I did perform a 30% water change, which I had not filmed. And again, that was done after these tests, but before adding the second round of a cycle. I should note that these videos are filmed in advance with the voiceover happening at a later date. Another quick spoiler, I think we are almost ready as of the recording of this voiceover to be adding some livestock. Make some suggestions on what you want to see in the comments below. Also, the tank remains almost completely free of algae. We'll see if it remains that way once this cycle has fully finished. But I think we're off to a really good start. I've kept the lights off. I've kept the lights low. They're only on for a couple hours a day. And I think that's helping quite a bit. We'll have to see if that remains once we add some livestock to it. So again, let me know if you have any thoughts on what livestock we should add. I will note that due to the low amount of algae I've seen, in fact almost non-existent at all, I will not be adding a cleanup crew to start. I want to add something else that's living, maybe a coral to start with that, and then maybe a fish after that. And if the algae stays away, I don't want to have a cleanup crew with nothing to eat. So we'll keep that in mind as we progress, and if you have a suggestion for maybe a coral you want to see, I think that's where I'm going to go first. In my second round of testing, which I've actually already done but haven't done the voiceover for, I will say I tested for additional parameters such as magnesium and calcium just to see where my levels were at, and they were pretty good, but I'll let you see that in the actual second round of testing video that'll be coming out shortly. I also want to mention really quickly, I'm actually doing a third test right before we do any livestock. So don't fear, it's not just on 2 tests, it'll be on 3. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Let's get that final reading on the nitrates. And here you can see 1.8. That's low. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.